Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Royal Productions. My name is Louis. If this is your first time and you enjoy the content, you know what to do. Basically, what we do here is cover crypto articles, anything that might pertain to the market, like oil, Trump, whatever is happening in the world. Sometimes we'll go into gematria and other things that pertain to life, but mostly we cover articles of crypto here. So without any further ado, let's get right into this. So Bitcoin sitting at 77,000, Ethereum sitting at 2,100, BNB 662, XRP 135. If we look at this, we covered this yesterday. These ranges are very important to pay attention to as of May 24th. So we're looking here at this date right here, the 24th, as you guys can see on the right hand side. But yeah, we're ranging and we're flat in between these two major points. So the 80,000 and the 75,000. Okay, so pay attention to that. All right, let's get into this news. So SpaceX IPO, bad news for tech stocks, but what about Bitcoin? Okay, so SpaceX is launching, and we're gonna look at this, but basically they're gonna enter the Nasdaq 100. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Our ARK investment buys 12.5 million of Bullish stock in 4 days. So they're loading up. They're loading up. All right, let's pay attention to this. Next, moving on. We talked about this multiple times here, but basically, Irene co-founder says AI's biggest bottleneck is infrastructure, not chips. So they state that moving away from Nvidia would be better for your portfolio, but we'll see. We'll cover it in a second. Remember, not financial advice. Always do your own research. I'm just here to give you guys the information. You guys take it, leave it, do what you want with it. Okay. Ethereum's identity crisis is deepening after high-profile brain drain frustrates the community. So basically, there's some major players that left the Ethereum Foundation, and we're going to cover that in a second. All right, so stay tuned. NYSE owner ICE launched oil-linked futures with OKX. This is huge. This is huge. There's been a lot of oil stuff in the news. We've seen the markets tank because of oil and stuff like that. So, in my opinion, I really just think this was a way to slow down the market so we can get this infrastructure into place. You know what I mean? All right. Neither here nor there. Last article I have for you guys today, but is Trump media moves another 205 million in Bitcoin as losses on crypto bets swell to 455 million. Okay, so this one is very simple. They bought some Bitcoin at around 118,000 and they're now sitting underwater. Okay, but we'll cover all this coming up next. Stay tuned. Alrighty, let's get right into this news I have for you guys today. So the first article I have is SpaceX IPO, bad news for tech stocks, but what about Bitcoin? So basically, as we go here, the key takeaways here is the Nasdaq 100 fast entry could expand Bitcoin's exposure among the top mega cap stocks, including Tesla. So as you can see here, Elon Musk's rocket and satellite company SpaceX is planning a 75 billion IPO in June, which could make it the largest near-term public listing with major Bitcoin treasuries. So as we can see here, if you guys care more about the analytics and stuff like that, as of March 19th, 2026 and December 31st, 2025, the company also held 18,000 units of Bitcoin with a cost basis of 661 million, a fair value of 1,293 million. I don't know why they just didn't say 1.2 trillion. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And then 1.6 million trillion respectively. The fair value of these digital assets is determined using level 1 in the fair value hierarchy. So basically, SpaceX holds a certain amount, and then Tesla also holds a certain amount. But basically, electric car maker already holds 11,000 Bitcoin in its balance sheet, and SpaceX with 18,000 BTC. So like I said, this would be one of the fastest growing mega caps with direct Bitcoin exposure. So pay attention to this. We covered something about Elon Musk, SpaceX, and Tesla the other day. I think this is very important because you have to think about the data that SpaceX and Elon Musk Teslas have. They drive these cars everywhere. They got the grid locked down. They understand stoplights, everything, traffic, people. Yeah, these Tesla cars are just computers on wheels driving around collecting information. So I think SpaceX and this launch of the IPO would be a good investment. But remember, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Okay, moving on to some better news. Well, that was some good news, but I like this right here because if you follow Cathie, you know what I mean. If you know anything about Cathie Woods, she's been great in this ecosystem. You know what I mean? I would say she's 9400 when it comes to investing and stuff like that. She's very good. She's very good. But basically, ARK Invest buys 12.5 million of Bullish stock in 4 days. So ARK frequently uses broader digital asset downturns, which tend to pull crypto equities lower and the entry point into crypto companies. So, you know, like people always say, when there's blood on the streets, that's when you buy. And you know, she's taken up, and her company's taken up this type of technique when it comes to helping with their allocation and their different products that they're investing in, not just crypto, but also companies like Bullish and stuff like that. But yeah, check it out. Articles will be down below if you want more information on that. Okay, moving on. This is some more AI infrastructure type of news, but this goes hand in hand with what we just covered with SpaceX and Tesla. But basically, Irene, co-founder, says AI's biggest bottleneck is infrastructure, not chips. So basically, Irene is a partner with NVIDIA, a huge partner. But basically, the biggest takeaway here is it's not about the chips anymore. It's about the robust systems that help these AI systems run. So basically, AI demand grows exponentially, infrastructure doesn't. Roberts wrote, pointing to the growing constraints around power, land, and cooling the data centers construction. So remember, the AI is going to expand rapidly, but if you don't have the infrastructure for this AI to run and expand, then it's like a fish in a fishbowl. The goldfish is only going to get as big as the environment at its end, and that's how it goes when it talks about like the power, the land, and the cooling data centers. Okay, this AI demand can only go as high as the infrastructure that helps it grow. Okay, so that's basically what this covers. And you know, with SpaceX and Elon, they're different. Like SpaceX has these places. SpaceX has places in Texas. It has places all over, okay, as well as their Tesla factories and stuff. So I think they have infrastructure, and they're gonna probably be a major player in the future when it comes to data mining and things of that nature. Okay, moving on. Ethereum's identity crisis is deepening after high-profile brain drain frustrates the community. So basically, there were some major players that left the Ethereum Foundation, and everyone's asking what happened and why, you know what I mean? But days after the several high-profile Ethereum Foundation departure, the EF still has not publicly explained the exits, fueling growing frustration and speculation across the Ethereum community about leadership, strategy, and internal culture. Prominent voices including Dankrid Fiest, I don't know how to say his name, and Laura Shine says Ethereum's problems stem from the foundation prioritizing ideology over competitiveness, tokenomics, and growth, warning that the ecosystem risks losing talent and the market shares rivals. So basically, Ethereum's great right now, but like it says, it's gonna lose a lot of the market shares to rivals if they don't get their act together. So, you know, not financial advice, just be aware of what's happening with your foundation, with your crypto, with your coins, or anything that you follow. This is just information, so take it or leave it. All right, moving on to the next thing. NYSE owner ICE launched oil linked futures with OKX. And you already know here how I am, guys. Like, I read these articles, but I look deeper into them. Like, you know, America, we had all this ICE BS, you know what I mean, last year, this year, and we had this oil BS, you know what I mean, this year with Iran and stuff like that. I really think this is just to help with the licensees and restructuring and restrictions of everything. It has nothing to do with sometimes what these articles say, you know what I mean? So, but I'm gonna give you guys what these articles say and take my own opinion out of it. Okay, so OKX said Friday its plans to introduce perpetual futures based on ICE Brent crude and West Texas Intermediate WTI crude benchmarks, two of the world's most widely used oil price indicators, according to the release shared on Cointelegraph. So yeah, everything's going to be tokenized. Everything's going to be brought onto the broader market of infrastructure and blockchain. Okay, so I think oil futures linked to OKX is good. It's beneficial. It's going to bring more capital and liquidity into the blockchain. Okay, I don't know which chain. I don't know which crypto, but if you guys do the research and care about it, you guys will be able to find that. All right, remember, always do your own research. Never take anything I say as face value. Okay, moving on. Trump media moves another 205 million in Bitcoin as losses on crypto bets swell to 455 million. So I'm just going to cover this real quick. We covered some of World Liberty yesterday, that Wi-Fi coin. I love calling it Wi-Fi. It just looks like Wi-Fi. I know it's an L. Anyways, moving on. So Trump and Media Technology Group, DJT, the partner company of Truth Social, has transferred another 2,650 Bitcoin to crypto.com in a move that is likely to intensify scrutiny of the company's struggling cryptocurrency strategy. So let me give you guys some key points here. So right here, the company, which bought 11,000 Bitcoin at an average price of 118,000, is now estimated roughly down 455 million on its holding, as Bitcoin trades far below its purchase price. So just like Michael Saylor is sitting at this 74-75 level. Okay, so if anything happens with these markets, a lot of these big players are going to lose money, including Trump Media, including World Liberty, a lot of them. Okay, so just be aware of what you're getting into. Understand your mind is your crown. Take this piece of knowledge and apply it to your life if it fits. If it doesn't, don't apply it. Okay, my name is Louis. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. I'm out.